Hey fam, I want you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications. We have seen, of course, stories like this, where when you talk about the issue of protests and police shootings, and that, along with the other story we talked about, the issue of voting, with the subject of a BET documentary that looks at voter suppression, but also stand your ground laws and how they impact black folks. The series focuses on, again, the people who are on the ground making it happen. That is activists, community leaders, you name it, folks who are stepping up. And so there are many folks who have been talking about this new BET docuseries, Finding Justice. Take a look.
Being a person of color in this country, coming out of the womb, you are birthed into a hostile environment.
A 5-year-old girl being handcuffed.
But you're not black. Remember, we only kill black people.
The world has been taught to fear and hate the black man.
The advances this country has made is because black people have been willing to die and sacrifice for it.
That's how this country was built.
They trying to put us back in bondage. Being black is not a crime.
Activism is the portal for actually creating change.
Where children suffer from lead poisoning.
The federal government is using people's tax dollars to poison our children and community.
We got to go to the polls and vote like we never voted before.
Growing allegations of voter suppression.
Are you removing black voters just to win this election?
I'm out here fighting for voting rights in 2018.
Why is it okay for you to use your fear as an excuse for murder?
So if racism is the gunpowder, then stand your ground is the match.
Thousands gathering from all over to fight the school-to-prison pipeline.
School is setting you up for the system of jails and prisons.
It is our duty to fight for freedom. It is our duty to win.
I lost years for nothing.
Cash bail ends up putting legally innocent people in cages.
What's happening with police brutality in Minneapolis is happening across the country.
We deserve justice. Our lives matter too.
Every day we wake up, black folks should be fighting for the freedom of black people.
We become remarkable when we fight for justice.
I'm past pissed off. I'm in action mode right now.
All right, folks, one of the co-founders of Black Lives Matter is Patrisse Cullors. She joins us right now. Patrisse, how you doing?
Good, thanks for having me.
So BET is doing this. It's going to be over 6 nights, and it's laying out, obviously, what we've had to deal with and how we're trying to address it. But the issue still goes the next step. One of the things that I always talk about is that what we don't do when we talk about Dr. King and the Civil Rights Movement, they were always about the march or the event, but they also said, what are we going to do on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday?
That's why I love this docuseries, actually. And I'm both a subject in the docuseries and also a consulting producer, and work closely with Dream Hampton, who's executive producer on this, or one of the executive producers, to have a conversation that wasn't just about what Black people are dealing with, the trauma that we face, the impact that systems have on us, but also we wanted to talk about the people who are at the center of changing that. And we wanted people to see how organizers every single day are not just protesting, not just on social media, but developing entire campaigns that are transforming local government, national government, and statewide government.
And the piece that when I travel around this country, I mean, literally, I've been hearing from people in Sacramento. They've been saying, you know, Roland, we need you to come here. And I go, no, you don't. and I told them, I said, no, you don't. I said, I'm not saying I don't care. I said, but this is where you live there. I just got back from Atlanta. You know, I had my school choice town hall there. And I said, people, you live in Atlanta. I said, yes, we had it here. I said, but you have to care about the education of your kids here and not wait for a high-profile person, a celebrity, to come in to bring you together and say, here's the plan, now go forth.
That's exactly right. When we started Black Lives Matter almost 5.5 years ago, 6 years ago, we weren't celebrity activists. No one knew our names, but we knew that there was a problem, and we knew we needed to amplify the issue and show people that there's something we can do about it. I appreciate that your response is, no, you don't need me, because we don't need messiahs. We need collective action. What's happening in Sacramento, I'm so grateful for both the local chapter, BLM Sacramento, but also all the other organizations and just regular people who are saying enough is enough. We're not going to allow Sacramento to be the sleepy town. You know, Sacramento is like the Midwest of California. We are going to, challenge and push the local government. And the fact that it's been a year later and they're still protesting and they're still showing up. And honestly, they've been on the front lines of challenging that DA for a very long time. So the next step, as you were saying earlier, is to get her out. She needs to know that she could be voted out.
Fatima, Joseph, question?
Yeah, I'd like to know what you think the next step is going to look like in Sacramento. Are we talking like voter registration drives? Is it, continued protests? What does it look like on the ground, do you think?
We need all of it. I think we need continued protest, especially like towns like Sacramento that are not used to people, showing up and going to city council meetings and turning up. So we need that activation. That's very important. We also need to have a long-term vision around getting a progressive DA that can hold space at local government and can change the way Sacramento is relating to police violence, is relating to crime in the community, is relating to bail. So the issue around the DA is huge. The local chapter there has also done a lot of work around challenging the sheriff and the sheriff's department, who's incredibly racist. The jail system there has been terrible to Black and brown people. So there's a lot of work around the criminal justice system that is going to continue under the leadership of many organizations.
Well, hi, Patrisse. I was just going to say, so it is local activation and local activism that's so inspiring, but Sacramento reminds you of so many cities around this country. And so the ability with this documentary to tell the story that it's Sacramento, but it's not Sacramento just on its own, seems to me to be so powerful. That connecting it again, as you guys have done so beautifully with Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, and what you all are going to notice in this docuseries is we try to really look at the different intersections of Black poverty in particular. So we're not just talking about police violence. What you'll end up seeing is, there's a whole episode on toxic cities and lead in our communities. There's an episode on the school to prison pipeline. So young people and what they're doing to challenge, policing in their schools and over policing. So you get to see the full gamut of Black life. And you also we rarely highlight the power players that are organizers in real time. It takes, a documentary 20, 30 years from now to tell that story. We get to see the people who are mostly Black women, to be honest with you, who are showing up every single day and changing the material conditions for Black people.
All right, so we know this is going to premiere Sunday. What time Sunday?
7 p.m. Eastern time. 8 p.m. Eastern time.
8 p.m. Eastern on BET. Patrisse Cullors, we certainly appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, folks, calling all HBCU alumni, students, and leaders, enter the Ford Motor Company HBCU Mobility Challenge and win $25,000 for your school. Building on their long-term support of HBCUs, Ford is looking to improve mobility in HBCU communities through innovative solutions. The winning program will receive a grant of up to $25,000 to implement the proposal. The deadline to apply is March 31st, 2019. Go to fgb.life. That's fgb.life for more info and to apply. Ford goes further in our community. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.